for blood. Better run, better run. Here it comes, here it comes. Better run, when the wolves come out to play.
The keep, loan, sell game. So we're going to go over and everyone's going to tell me whether they want to keep, loan or sell a player, and then based on how many people say it, I think we'll just come up with a decision and pop him in wherever we think it needs to be. So
are we doing this as a collective? Yeah,
as a collective.
Sound.
So
let's go team.
So I'll go me. It'll go me, Kyle, John, and then Daniel because that's how it's lined up on the chat.
Nice.
I don't know why. So Jose Sarr for me. I think keep just because I don't think there's much quality out there at the moment in terms of someone you 100% know is going to be your number one. But I can see a reason for the other ones as well. So what do you think, Kyle?
Sell him. Get Ramsdale in.
Sell. He loves Ramsdale.
I think quality.
Sell him.
Sell as well, yeah, okay. Yeah. Daniel?
I was going to say keep, only because I think they're bigger priorities in the window. So if you only have a set amount of money, I'd prioritise other in the next few years, absolutely. But I think for now, keep.
Keep. Okay, so two of us have said keep. Two of us have said loan. I'm going to put keep for now. If this changes in the comments, then we'll move him around. Dan Bentley, I'm going to say sell. I'm not going to lie. I just haven't seen enough from him when he's been called up. And I do like him in the changing room, to be fair, but I just feel like there needs to be another understudy. Maybe someone a bit younger who's a better sweeper keeper for me. So I'm going to say sell. What do you think, Kyle?
I'd actually like to see Bentley loaned out. I think game time's really important for him.
Cool.
One, for his confidence, and two, for his progression. So I'd loan him.
John?
I'd keep him. I'd make him third choice. Bring in someone else, either to replace Sarr or to come in as second. But I'd keep him as a third choice because he's English, homegrown. We haven't got much room in the squad, so it makes sense. We have to have a third keeper anyway, and he's quite good in the dressing room. So I'd keep him, but I'd just make him third choice.
Cool. Daniel?
I'd just echo what John said. I think for me, they're bigger priorities in the squad, so I'd keep him for now. But like you said, bring in an understudy to maybe challenge Sarr.
Cool. All right, that's a keep. King, what do you think? I'm saying. I mean, for the English quota, I think having a third goalkeeper who's English is probably going to only really help us, isn't it? To be fair, I don't think it's like Daniel said, we're probably not going to get anyone else in to be a third goalkeeper, really, other than probably someone from who's on loan or something. But I think Molden's on his way out, so I'm going to say keep.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yep. Echo that. I'll keep him.
I'd loan him because I think he's not going to. I think Bentley will be third choice, so he's either sell or loan. I'd probably loan him out just so we've got someone as a backup in case anyone gets injured. We could bring him back maybe in a release clause or something if, I don't know, Bentley gets injured or something happens.
Nice, Daniel.
Yeah, I was going with John's logic as well, so I'd go with the loan as well.
Cool. So we got a keep and loan. I'm actually going to loan him out.
Go on, loan him out.
Yeah. Nelson Semedo. That's just a straight out keep, innit? Surely.
Yeah.
You even have to question it.
Yeah, it's definite keep unless Saudi come in with something absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah.
Because Ben Jacobs, who's quite a big journalist, did say that Saudis like him, so I'd keep him. But if you get him money that you can't refute, that big amount from the Saudis.
Yeah. What do you think then, Daniel?
Yeah,
did you say keep? Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, wicked, cool. All right, your favourite, John? I think we keep Dawson. To be honest, I think he's got another couple of seasons in him. It's just his injury record for me, but he's such a miss for us when he went out and when he was injured. Obviously, he's not going to be around for much of the pre-season as well, but I think just because of his leadership qualities, I think he's just such a good buy. He's probably one of our best buys, to be honest. Carl, what do you think?
I completely agree. Yeah, I think his leadership quality is something we need around the club. So yeah, I'm keeping him as well.
Yeah, John?
You already know my answer. 100% keep him. Homegrown as well.
Class.
Love it.
Daniel?
Yeah, absolutely agree. Like, I think, like you said, also he's a great mentor for some of those younger defenders. Like obviously, Mascara comes back. We'll talk about him in a minute, but he's a great role model, isn't
he? Matt Dock. I actually like what Matt Dock did this season. I think I actually thought about this the other day. If we didn't buy him, we'd have been in some trouble, because his side at one point was like really suspect. And when he come on, especially a couple of times in the tail end of the season, I think he offered a little bit going forward, and I don't know. I just think I just think because he's so in the end of his career sort of thing. I think we just keep him because he was such a servant for the club as well. Even if he ends his career at Wolves, I mean that's a legend in my opinion. Just based on how long he's been with us.
I think
Kyle?
he's destined to end his career with us. Keep him.
Yeah.
I love
John?
him. I think he's great going forward, and he actually does still give that little bit of life off the bench. So yeah, I like him. Keep him.
Yeah.
I
John?
think keep him. I think there's some harsh criticism, not from us guys, but from other people I've heard from social media. And I just think back into the season, he's got fitter and fitter. You got to remember, he was pretty much sat on the bench, polishing the bench of his arse at Madrid, and he's pretty much come back now. And you can see the back end of the season, he's getting a lot fitter under Gary O'Neill. And yeah, I think he's a good player.
4 yeses, Daniel. We're playing X Factor now, or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a yes. And also, I don't think you can underestimate having someone who gets the club, gets the city. You need a few players like that in the squad, and Doherty's obviously somebody.
Definitely. I think that's what he offered when he came in. He just knew the club inside out, didn't he? He knew all the staff and whatever, and he was just like, "Bosh, I'm gonna get my boots and I'm just gonna jump on the training pitch." Love that. Oh, this is gonna be a dodgy one. This. Oh, okay. I do a lot of match reviews, Daniel. I do a lot, and anyone who's watching this video is going to know that Kilman for me has been pretty bad at being both our leader with the captain's armband, and sometimes his positional skills have been very lackluster. I actually think while the price is high for Kilman, like we saw Napoli come in, big offer of 30 million. If something else comes in like that for me, he's got to go for me. Especially if we're trying to sell assets and get some players in. So for me, he's a sell. But I can understand why people might want to keep him as well.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with Kilman. I think, like you say, if we get a big offer in, cash in from him while we can, because I don't think if he has another season like he's had this season, I think his price could literally half for what it is now. So it'd be a sell for me.
Yeah, I echo what you boys say. It's 50-50 really. I think it all depends on the offer. I think at the moment we keep him, so I put him in that criteria. But I think same with Semedo, if you get an offer that you can't refuse, then you'd sell him because he's pure profit. He's reaching the age point now where he's kind of hitting that age where you're going to get top money, but maybe in a year's time or two that will drop down because of his age. So yeah, he's getting that peak age now, and we've been there before with Traore and stuff where we should have sold when we didn't, and we lose value. So yeah,
exactly.
I'd keep him, but if we've got a big offer, he's got to go.
Depends what happens with Mascara as well. Like we've mentioned on other podcasts, and like Daniel mentioned, if Mascara comes back, I think he's going to give Kilman a run for his money.
Yeah.
He's been awesome, Mascara.
Daniel, what do you think, mate?
I think because of Mascara, in a way, I would actually keep Kilman just for this season and hope that he finds a bit of form. Maybe cash in next summer, but you also give time to someone like Mascara to learn under him and Dawson just for a season. And then hopefully you have ready-made replacements for a Dawson or a Kilman next season, or the season after. If not.
Yeah, nice. And obviously we're not under any pressure to sell, are we, this season? So I suppose it's one of them really. It's kind of like a double-edged sword. You kind of want to sell players because we need more depth, but you don't want to get rid of players that have done well for us. And
it's always about who replaces them, right? I mean, Mascara's been really good in Spain, but there's no guarantee he comes back. If he does come back, Coughlin is really solid in the league,
Yeah, so I was sell. Carl, was you keep?
I was sell for Kilman.
Sell. John, you was keep, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Daniel, you was keep, weren't
I
you?
was cute, yeah.
Cool. All right. We'll keep him. But he's gone next season. I'm just kidding.
This
Nice.
time next year.
All right. So next, Santi Bueno. You know what? John was saying earlier about Santi Bueno. I'm gonna disagree. You know, I think I've seen some good signs of Santi Bueno. The game against Brighton, the FA Cup game, I thought he was absolutely awesome. So if he can have more games like that, and as a squad player as well, you know, because we had no centre backs. It's like having Nuno back. So in my opinion, we've been after a centre back, and he's an international. It's his first season. We've already been talking about some players that have surprised us based on their last season performance and now their season now. So for me, I'm going to keep him, but I can understand if everyone wants to get rid of him as well.
Nah, I'm keeping him. I quite like him as well. I
Yeah.
think
Big lump as well, isn't
John's fucking out his... No, I'm joking. I respect your opinion, John. And obviously, we have seen some downsides to him, but I think he's just one of them. He needs a little bit more game time and needs that little bit of trust to improve. So, nah, keep him for me.
Yeah, so I'd keep him. I just don't think he's a starting player at the moment. I don't think...
squad player.
Fair point.
I think he's a squad player. I think the reason I was disappointed is the fact that I thought when I looked at him when he first came in, I was excited about maybe a player that could help us go into the back four, or could be a player that you could comfortably be in starting lineups. But I just don't see that with him at the moment. I can see him being a player that can come in for the odd game here or two if someone gets injured. But I just wouldn't be comfortable to see him starting, I don't know, a run of games every game in the back four or the back five. But yeah, I'd keep him.
Cool. All right, Daniel, what do you think of Santi Bueno?
Yeah, I mean, I actually agree with you, Dan, in a way about Bueno. That it took him a long time to actually play, right? So
He had an injury,
I thought actually for the first run of games, I actually didn't think if you hadn't watched Wolves all season, I don't think he was that much of an outlier almost, which in a way is a compliment. So I didn't think he looked that out of his depth. But I think I totally appreciate what John said. I think you just hope he takes a leap next season, and he obviously gets a full preseason. He's adapted, like Carl was saying, to the league, and he kind of improves in all areas. But yeah, definitely keep him now.
Yeah, nice one. John is on X, and he said, "Why would you loan Tom King? He's obviously been brought in for the dressing room and English nationality purposes. Loan Bentley, if anything." I think we said.
I agree.
I
said loan Bentley instead.
I think we said that Bentley was a better third choice, and we're probably thinking about getting an understudy instead of our second goalkeeper. I think that was kind of where we were going. I think that was what we were saying.
Is there much value as well loaning Bentley at third seed as well? I mean, he's not kind of a young player who's needing games, is he? I don't think.
And I think Tom King would have a good season in a league
exactly that, yeah,
somewhere,
which would do him good, I think.
Yeah, definitely, and he can score a goal from it's the same box as well. So I mean, if anyone wants to, in non-league, that would be great. All right, nice. Sativa said keep Santi, reassess next season. Nice one, Sativa. Yeah, get involved, guys. We want to hear what you're thinking about these players as well. Obviously, you can see them already on the chart. We'll move them around if it's something that we'll get VAR involved and see if there's a clear and obvious error, as Daniel knows all about. Cool. I'm gonna say we're gonna say keep then for now, just to assess. Yeah. All right. Toti Gomez, in my opinion, right? I love Toti Gomez, mate. I do. And in the one game, I can't remember what game it was. He scored in it. What game was that? He scored in it, and then just before that, he was literally in the striker position, ready for a cross. I can't remember what game it was, but just the idea of having a defender with that sort of mindset who's just going to go at you, that's just awesome for me. And I think, to be honest, he's not awful.
What game was that?
He's not awful. He's not awful at all, and he's an international. You know, he was cheap. I think we see him for another season, see what he's got, and then obviously go on what we think next time.
It was in the Villa game.
Was it the Villa game?
I thought
Luton.
it was.
Ellie says Luton. Well done, Ellie. Nice
Was it
one.
Luton?
Good
I
job,
thought it
Ellie.
was the Villa game.
Yeah. No, it was definitely Luton. I was there. I remember.
Was it? Okay,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. Cool. Kyle?
Keep him all day long. I think he's one of our best centre backs as it stands at the moment. Keep him.
John?
Yeah, I'd definitely keep him. I think he's great, and I think he's got.
Just gonna go and get a drink.
Yeah, carry on, Kyle. Nice one. Daniel, Totty go.
Yeah, not much more to add really. Just definitely keep solid.
Yeah. Seems like a nice bloke as well, to be fair. Totty go.
He's a very nice bloke, to be fair. Very just chilled out and good chat.
To be honest, he seems like he likes a bit of a party, which I love that about him, to be fair. Someone else who likes a party, not really, is Ryan Aït-Nouri, who has been probably one of the surprises for me this season. There was one part of this season where we lacked someone up front who had some bite, who could get us up front with Neto going out, Cunha going out, Juan going out, and Sarabia looking like more of a 10. And for me, playing Aït-Nouri further forward was a bit of a masterstroke on Gary's part. First of all, he probably didn't have much choice, but I just think he carried us in that part of the season. He scored a goal against Fulham, and I think he got an assist as well. In games where really we needed to win. I think Aït-Nouri's been one of our best players this season, and it is a keep 100%.
Yeah,
Kyle.
agree. Keep him all day long. His quality so entertaining to watch as well. But as a fan, watching live at home, watching the stadium, you look at him and you go, go on. Do you know what I mean? He's that sort of player who gets you going, and he's a really good player in transition from defence to attack as well. So yeah, keep him.
John.
Yeah, I'm going to say definitely keep. I think we saw him this season as well. Almost get into a left winger position, just shows how versatile he is and how rare that is. And he offers just tributes to his game that many other left backs don't offer. He's just so attacking, and you can see in some games as well he's really good defensively. So yeah, he's a great player. Definitely got to keep him.
Daniel.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, also he now feels like a player with his potential could be. Like who knows now? Could he be? I'm not saying he's going to go to the levels of, but a Gareth Bale type transition, right, from a left back to a potential left winger who can add goals and assists. Absolutely key.
Yeah, and I think that's what's going to happen as well. I think that's what Gary Neville's going to see is that he's got some ability going forward and he can play that kind of role. Nice one. Nearly 900 of you here, guys. Get involved as much as you possibly can. We're going through all these players. Keep loaning, sell. There's going to be loads of people going, what the hell are you doing? But whatever, it's our own opinion. Your opinion will be obviously different. That's what we love about football. We've all got different opinions. Hugo Bueno. I am going to say... oh, God, that's a hard one, isn't it? Because he was my flop of the season, and I just feel bad for the kid, man. He just had a new contract. I either say keep or loan. Depending on who we get in as well. If we get someone else in, a loan might do him some good, to be fair, because he might not even get in the team much next season.
I think a loan as well.
Loan, yeah.
Yeah, I think loan him. But you've got to look and then go, do you have the option to recall him? Because if something drastic happens to Aït-Nouri, touch wood, God forbid it doesn't. But if it does, you've got to bring him back because he's a decent backup when he wants to be, and he has proved himself in a way that he can get up there and he can make a bit of a difference. Obviously, he's not on the level that Aït-Nouri is yet. That's not saying he never will be, but I think a loan move would be
it could be
very handy for him.
Couldn't it? In the Championship, imagine him. He'd be like.
I think he'd be all right.
I think he'd be a star player, man, for a team.
Right.
John, what do you think?
Yeah, I probably would say loan. I'd hope if we loaned him there, they would get someone in to replace him. I know Doherty can kind of play on the left as an emergency backup, but I think we would need to get someone in to replace him.
Daniel?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it was as you said, a loan to potentially Leeds or something. I think that would kind of fit Hugo Bueno quite well. Get a full season of playing football behind him, and another one as well. But yeah, I think so. And I think also a left back is, a backup left back is probably within budget and quite easy to sort. I think, in terms of options.
Nice one. Mario Lemina, sell 100%. I'm joking, man. What a legend. I love this guy. I love this guy, man. I'm just saying keep straight away. What a legend. Could even be captain for me.
I was literally about to say that.
It just seems a bit of a poster boy now for the club. We've seen how he is with with different kids with disabilities and different things like that. And I just feel like he's just that really nice guy, isn't he? And it's weird, isn't it? Because Lemina didn't really have that sort of trait about him from when he was in the Premier League before. But he just seems to have really settled down and grown up and everything. And I think he's a great player, man. Especially next to Joe Gomez, he just makes every game tick. Obviously, with what happened with his father as well, to be able to even think about putting a Wolves shirt on again after that. It's just admirable. I lost my dad when I was 14 and everything, and I would not be able to just carry on the way he did under all the spotlight of football. I just think that's really admirable from him, and I love him, man. I'm keeping him. Don't even care what you lot say.
I agree. Keep him, make him captain next season.
Yeah,
that'll be for me.
Nice. All right, Boubacar Traore. You know what? He had a bit of a season where he didn't play a game, and then all of a sudden, he had a few games where he looked so good, and you could just tell Gary O'Neill was looking at him going, "All right, nice. I've got some competition here for Doyle," and then he just had a couple of games at the end of the season where you saw, okay, maybe you're not quite ready yet. So Boubacar Traore for me. Oh God, that's hard again. That is. Depending on Joe Gomez, if Joe Gomez goes, we've got to keep him. He's young enough to have a loan. He's shown good spells. I don't know, man. I actually don't know. He was good against Arsenal. Yeah, Joe says he was good against Arsenal. Come back to me. I don't know, Joe. Kyle, what do you think?
I like Boobs and Traore. Yeah, keep him. Keep him. I think he's ruthless, man. He's class. He gets stuck in. He's a good squad player again. Someone to bring up off the bench, liven up your midfield a little bit. Midfield you run the most in the game, so you're naturally going to get tired. And I think having players like Boubacar who can come on and put himself about a little bit, get stuck in. We've seen that this season. I like him. Keep him for me.
John.
I'm going to say definitely keep. However, I do think if they do decide to get a new midfielder, it'd probably be the one that I would loan out. Because I think he's that one, he's at that threshold. I think he's completely fine and we keep him because I think he offers something different. But I think if we've got someone new in, you never know, then he'd probably be the one I'd loan out. But he's definitely a player I'd like to keep at Wolves. Even if he got loaned out, I'd like to see him come back at some point. But yeah, I would say keep at the moment in time.
Yeah, Joe says he needs games, which is fair. Daniel, what do you think? Boubacar Traore?
Yeah, I'd keep him. Similar to what Kyle was saying, I think he has all the attributes, doesn't he? And I think it's easy to forget. I think in certain bits this season he had a few niggles, a few injuries, so he wasn't always available as well. So I think there's enough there where you hope he has a bit of a leap next year. And again, a full pre-season, I think will do him a world of good. So definitely keep him another season then assess, I think.
Nice one. So we'll keep him then. I'm glad you said that because I literally couldn't decide. Cool. Bellegarde, I'm not sure about Bellegarde. You know what? If he's in his normal position, like we saw against Liverpool, I actually think he's a class player. I thought he was really good against Man City as well before the red card. I actually think there's a player there, and I don't think we're going to have too many versatile winger slash tens either. I think there's another one that I actually want to get rid of that's similar to him. So in my opinion, I keep Bellegarde because I know another player I want to get rid of is similar in a similar sort of position.
Yeah, I am keeping Bellegarde. He's a bit like, for me, he's a bit like an onion going off. You peel off that outer layer, and he's all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's fine
Yeah.
again. You can use him in your spag bol. Do you know what I mean? And he's for me, if you peel off his little bad traits, he's a hell of a player, and you can use him in your team, just like I'd use my onions in a spag bol. So yeah, keep him.
I love that. John, what do you think?
Yeah,
Bellegarde?
I'd definitely keep him. I think he's a player there, and I think with proper coach and everything, we can see the best of him next season.
Daniel?
Yeah, likewise, what I said with Traore, I think you hope he takes a leap next year, and similar to what Kyle was saying, smooth out those edges. So there's a player there, isn't that? A decent Premier League player, I think, whether he plays every week or not.
Nice.
Joe's just said, by the way, he's not used to the league yet, which I could probably agree with that.
We've said that a few times though, haven't we, about players that like last season. So I think you give them a run next season, see how they get on.
Can't remember as well. It's the hardest league in the world to play in, so you got to cut them some slack, ain't you?
There was enough there as well, wasn't there? That he's shown.
Yeah.
Gimme a ginger from City. His name is Tommy Doyle and he plays for the Wolves. I am keeping this guy. I think he's awesome. I just think the transition of losing Matheus Nunes, you know, and seeing what he can give us in terms of Tommy Doyle for $4.5 million or whatever we paid for him is just an absolute steal from City. And I feel like some part of City is going, ugh, I wish we didn't do that now, because we've seen Matheus Nunes up for sale, so it's obviously not worked out too well. What do you think, Kyle?
Could not agree more, my friend. Keep him all day long. I love him.
Keeping him, yeah.
Great little player.
Cool. All right. Nice. John?
Yeah, definitely keep him. Bargain player. Great season with us. Great first season. The player that I think is at the right age now to really just keep improving. So definitely keep him. The only thing is now I'm worried about what you're going to do about the rest of the players if we decide to keep, because we ain't got much room now.
There'll be some. There's loads of room, by the way. That keep goes on forever, and the loan.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Don't you worry.
It's not like overlap.
Nah. It doesn't just end.
So I have to sell the rest, aren't we?
Yeah. That's it. Sorted. Nice one, Jads.
Cheers, lads. Thanks for coming.
All right, cool. Joe Gomez, obviously an asset at the moment that a lot of teams are looking at. A big offer comes in for Joe Gomez. I think out of Aït-Nouri, Neto, I probably want to keep him just because of how young he is, and I don't think we've seen his ceiling yet. I think we can get a lot more money for him with one more season under his belt. So I'd keep him.
I think keep him as well. I think as that little pit bull in midfield, he's brilliant. And I think he just needs to stay calm this season now. Stay calm. Be the best you can possibly be. Look at your big move next season. And just stay level-headed would be my advice to Joe
Daniel's
Gomez.
Daniel's got an answer for us here. I can tell he's like riddling around. He's waiting, man. He's got something cooking here.
We have to keep on.
All right, John, go on.
Yeah, unbelievable player. Definitely keep him. As you guys say, I think he's just got more and more to give. He's just going to develop. He's so young. He's going to get international experience, and he's going to have some great players around him when he goes out and plays those games for South America. And I just think he's going to get better and better and better. So I would keep him, because I think there's a difference now from him being maybe valued at 60 million, where I think he could be one of those players that could be even
That's
higher
what I
than
was
that,
thinking.
70, 80.
Yeah. You look at Caicedo. Like, I just think that that's the kind of like sell I think for him, like this like big money sell that's going to really really allow us to do well in the transfer. And I just think one more season, please, of João Gomez winning the ball. I just think he just does that better than anyone. I don't know anyone who wins the ball better than João Gomez. The way he wraps his leg round, he just yeah, that's my ball. Thanks. He's class. Daniel, you've got something cooking here. What are you? What are you
Well,
gonna say?
no. So I guess I'm slightly more detached from it. I mean, I love him, right? And I think he's such a good player, and what he's done this season is amazing. I think my only logic here to say so, and I know I've already lost the vote, but what is Pedro Neto's value? This is how I'm looking at it. After 2 hamstring injuries this season, we all know what the situation is. Wolves have to sell someone this summer, right, to bring in more players. Are you going to get as much money after Pedro Neto? There's a lot of factors there. If Neto ends up having a good Euros, maybe his value goes back up. He's the most expensive asset, you sell him, fine. But if that ends up being João Gomez, say he has a good... I don't know, I can't remember if he's in the Brazilian squad for the Copa America or not.
Yeah, I think
He's in the Copa America.
Yeah, isn't he? I thought so. So if he has a good Copa America, as you were saying, Johnny, but even this summer, his value could go up immensely because people, like I said, will pay for potential, right? And actually, as good as he's been this season, would I trust Gary O'Neill and Wolves to bring in someone to replace him in some sort of way? Maybe not everything, but I actually think in a way he is almost a bit more replaceable. So for me, he'd be one I'd look to sell potentially. Like I said, with all those factors in there, because I'm just not sure, depending on Neto, if it means you get more money to buy more players. Maybe
well, we can move these players around. So we'll see at the end. We'll probably throw them around, sell everybody. It's all good. We've got to think about the assets. Like we've already been told about that this season. We've got to think about assets. And for me, if I'm going to sell anyone, it's going to be Kilman, and then it's going to be. I really want to keep out Nori. I think Neto, when on his day, is just unreal. But I think it's Kilman, Neto, João Gomez, Nori for me. That's my order in which I'm reluctant to sell the last ones. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. So. I say keep for now because a lot of us said keep, but I do understand your points, Daniel. I actually do get what you're trying to say. Pedro Neto. So for me, I'm going to say it. I am actually going to sell Pedro Neto because I think he is a player that gets in any team, and I think he's just not right for Wolves because he'll be really good in a team with a big squad, where he can get a little bit of game time here and there, build up game time. Wolves is just not the team for him because you just play him over and over and over again, and he just gets injured all the time, and it's because we're out overplaying him. And I don't blame us for doing it. I just think in another team like Arsenal or something, where like you've got him, Saka, Martinelli, and you can weave him around a bit. I think he'd just be such a good player, man. For them. So for me, sell.
I am unfortunately going to agree. I think if we get rid of one person this summer, one of our big assets is probably going to be Pedro. And I will miss him because he's a bit like how I used to play. And yeah, I miss him. He's quick. He's electric when he gets on the ball, and the chances and goals and whatever he creates is just, he's only getting better still. The big one for me is how many times he's injured. Can we afford to keep hold of him, considering how much he's worth? Probably not yet. And I think, like you said, going into a squad with a bit more depth would really suit Pedro. So it would be, unfortunately, a sell for me as well.
John?
Due to his injuries, he's definitely a luxury player, and I don't think Wolves as a club can have luxury players. And I think that's why I would sell him. I think a team like PSG that may have a load of money to spend after Mbappe goes, he's the kind of player that they could get there. Arsenal, Man United, they're going to have room there for rotation, and I think with rotation you can have a luxury player like that, and you could probably get Neto playing more games, because if we were in a position where we could sub him off after 70 minutes, or say, you know what, the game on the weekend, we'll give Neto a rest and we'll play another winger, that's the kind of club he needs to go to. And I think someone will pay top money for him. I'm pretty sure he will go to the Euros. Well, he's going to the Euros, but I'm pretty sure he'll have a good Euros, and I think he will be a player on the market that a lot of clubs want. And I think we can't turn down that money, because we can't have a luxury player that gets injured all the time.
Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, similar to what I was saying for João Gomez, I think, it's really dependent on, definitely sell, because you have to sell someone to bring in more players. And similar to what John was saying, you just hope that after his 2 hamstring injuries, his value's probably dipped a little bit, because clubs will be thinking, how injury prone is he, or is this a reoccurring issue? But if he has a really good Euros, his value will hopefully go right back up, and then hopefully that'll allow Wolves to bring in a few more players, especially in that part of the pitch. So yeah, unfortunately, so.
Nice. Mario Lemina came in because of obviously bereavement issues with his dad and everything, and he wanted to be close to his brother, and I thought that was really, really special, and really good move from Wolves, to be fair. Probably kept Mario on the straight and narrow, which was really nice. And another reason why I want Mario as captain, really, because we've seen how he is with his family, and we've seen how he is with his brother, and you get that, if you get that sort of family relationship around the team, I think you've got a captain there in Mario. I think it'll be class. I'm not sure what I'll do with him though, because if you loan him out, he's going to go to a club that's obviously not the caliber of Wolves. Maybe a club that's coming up, maybe. So he's still in the Premier League and he's still in England. He's still in like England or something. Maybe Leicester or something like that. So he's still close to the club or whatever. I'm not sure. I think a loan would do him good. It's just the fact that he's his brother. That's the only issue in it. But I think a loan for me would probably be better than keeping him and just sitting on the bench if he's got potential.
Is this Noah Lemina?
Noah Lemina. Is that what I said? Did I say Mario?
I think you did at the start.
It's Noah Lemina. Sorry.
I think probably keep Noah because of having his brother there, but I think Gary has got a plan for him as well.
All right, yeah.
And I think, putting him on the bench and stuff like that is giving him a little bit of confidence.
Under 21s as well.
Yeah, exactly. And just like we've seen with Enzo as well, I think we hold on to Noah Lemina.
Cool. John?
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. I think you can see with Man City, for example, now there's a few players now that they like to keep around the squad. They don't loan out. Some they do, but some they don't. They try and get them as close as possible to the squad with that mentality of the more experienced players. His brother there. And I think, yeah, as you say, Gary's got a bit of an idea, I think, what he wants to do with him. And he's got the opportunity to play with the Wolves youth teams, under 21s and stuff, and 23s. So, yeah, definitely a player I'd probably keep.
Cool. Daniel?
Yeah, I'll just keep him, again, with the youth team, similar to what John was saying. And maybe the year after is more appropriate for a loan, maybe the Championship or League One. But I think keep him within the system and keep him on the training ground for now, I think.
Nice. I think we can all be in the same sort of opinion of this next player, Hwang Chan. I think he's got to stay. The season he's had's phenomenal. Hopefully, like, the injuries keep away from him next season and everything, and we see like a full season and see what he's capable of, because I feel like he can finish better than any player we've got. I feel like his finishing ability, the composure he shows, is just unreal, to be fair, at times. So yeah, he's a keep from me. I'm guessing everyone feels the same.
I'm on the fence.
One thing I would say is, though, is he 28 or 29 this season? The new season?
29, I think.
See, that's the thing. I don't think there'd be much point in even selling him anyway, because I know he's done really well.
He's 28.
He's got, sorry?
28.
Yeah, I think 28 is one of those ages where I don't think you'd get ridiculous money, so it just wouldn't be worth selling him anyway.
Cool.
We've got him for a good price. He does he does the job, and he's obviously had a really good season. There's been no point in selling him, I think, at that age.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think as well, I think with the injuries as well, like you were saying about Neto, and clearly him, Cunha, Huang, they were all overplayed clearly, right? So hopefully with a few more additions, we'll have a full season.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kyle, what was you going to say?
I'm a bit on the fence with Wang. I think he's. I can't knock the season he's had. I can't knock it. I think I think he's been impressive, and he is a good finisher.
Yeah.
But
There is a but, and I don't think he's consistent enough. But then again, he has been.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point. What
I'm
Joe
just
said.
like that a bit with him.
He's more for the Korean fan base.
Well,
I think that's a
there
little
is
bit
that.
harsh because he's got some very good stats this season.
No, I think he means that
he has
as
got
well
good
as
stats.
I think
He
he's
has. I
phenomenal.
think he's. To be fair, this has been his best season, without a doubt, in a Wolves shirt. And some of the goals he's created.
When he's got confidence,
When he's
as well,
finished
a
them off,
class
he's been a
player.
bit lucky in times, and I'm probably being a little bit harsh because I think he can be a bit lazy sometimes and throw his arms up in the air and stuff like that. And
Think
I
about
hate
that
that as a
Brentford
striker.
performance for me. That Brentford performance where he literally takes the ball over the guy's shoulder and then pops it in. I think you've got the goal against City as well. I mean, he's one of them players just knows where the goal is. You got to keep him.
Go on,
if you
keep him.
If you think about anyone who's going to finish a ball, it's going to be him, innit?
No, it'd be me. Sign me.
Get him in.
Keep
Get
him.
him
Go
in.
on.
Nice one. Nathan Fraser. I'm going to actually loan him out.
Yeah,
I agree.
agree.
Load
Yeah.
him out.
think it was an awkward season for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With the front situation. I think he'd have been loaned in January.
Someone again who needs game time, but he needs it where he hasn't got the weight of the Premier League on his shoulders.
Yeah.
I think we were expecting a bit too much of him, to be honest.
Yeah.
He also had quite a few injuries from what Gary O'Neill was saying as well. I think he was playing pain quite a bit, when you were quite short. So I think maybe a loan away might just do him a bit of good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Pablo Sarabia. For me, that's probably going to upset people, but I think sell.
I would sell him as well, just because of his wages as well.
Yeah.
He's knocking on. I think technically he's a brilliant player. He's one of the best technical players we've got because he's been around. You can see his vision, and he reads the game so well. He's just not up to scratch to where he used to be for me.
I think my issue is with Sarabia is where, like, when he's got a full 11, he's a really good player and he's a teammate. But when we saw the youth coming in, where we saw players where maybe we just wanted a bit more of a hug around those players, and I feel like Sarabia really let himself down a little bit in those games. Whereas a few times where he could have passed the ball to someone like Fraser or something, and just decided to not to do it, and I just think like it was a few games like that for me. And
the way we used Sarabia, or the way we used him previous season just gone, I'd like to see us use Tawanda Chirewa more like that next season coming. I think he's got quite a bit of potential. So yeah, Sarabia isn't gone for me.
Cool, John.
Yeah, I would sell him. High wages at an age now where you've got to sell because I think he's only got 12 months left in his contract, and I think he's a perfect player to go to the Saudi League. I think the Saudis will give us a decent fee for him.
It's a great shout, to be fair, John.
Daniel.
Yeah, no, okay, everything you said. I think could you get a better player, especially in transition on that side or either side, really? Yeah, if you can get a good fee for him, absolutely so.
Cool. Enzo Gonzalez, there's a lot of news coverage coming out for this guy just recently, and I actually think he's in Gary's plans for next season because we saw him come on quite a few times now against teams in that last couple of games. Especially, what was that game? What was that last game at home? God, my memory's shocking today. But whatever the last game at home was, he came on and in the last couple of minutes and showed a lot of intent to get forward and everything. And he's a player with a lot of a lot of a career in front of him. So I think keep him, mould him into a Wolves player basically around all the talent we've got in there already.
I agree. Keep him.
Yep.
John.
I'm going to say loan him, just because I've got a feeling that Chiquinho will come back from his loan. So that's another winger who's got to fight to get a position. I've got another feeling that we will probably get another starting winger bought into the squad, especially if Podence gets sold. If Guedes gets sold, I think we'll bring in another winger. So then you've got another new winger and Chiquinho, all probably going to be above playing in top of him. So I reckon I'd loan him.
Nice. Daniel?
I'd keep them for now. And I know John mentions Chiquinho as well. I think they're the type of players you keep to have a look at in pre-season. And then, depending on the transfer business, then you maybe decide in the last week, so maybe loan. But I think for now, keep them, see what they look like.
Nice. Matthias Cunha. It's got to be a keep, innit?
Keep.
Straight away.
Keep,
Not even any question. Should we put him right at the front?
For that one.
Easy. So there's a couple of loanies now. We've reached the loanies. There's a couple missing actually. I know. I couldn't get I missed one player out. I think I was just looking. I think Chouaira I'm missing out. So yeah, whoops. Chouaira, I'd probably keep him. We said we would keep him anyway, didn't we, Kyle? Yeah. So Louis Molden, I think probably about time we sell him. Really.
I think so as well. Yeah, try and get a bit of money for him. Just gives us a little bit more to play with in the transfer market as well. I know we won't get a lot for him, but yeah, I think it probably time. He's never going to be a Wolves starting player, is he? So I think League One, League Two, maybe.
Yeah. John?
Yeah, I'd loan him.
Loan him out? Not sell?
Well,
cool.
I'd loan him. I'd loan him and sell, I think.
All right, cool. Daniel?
I'd probably go with Kyle and sell him. I think any money you can get for him just helps with the transfer business.
Keanu Hoover on loan at the moment. Hasn't really ever broke into the Wolves team. Has always seemed to have a bit of an attitude problem from what we've heard. Obviously, we only hear what we hear and whatever. It might not be the case, but doesn't really seem to have a Wolves career, in my opinion. I would probably sell him. Kyle?
Yeah, another one. I think he's done okay for Stoke. He's been there or thereabouts, hasn't he? I don't think he's going to cut the mustard at Wolves, so I'd probably get rid of him now. I think he's had enough time on loan to prove himself. You know, if he was going to develop into what we all thought when we first brought him in, then I think he probably would have by now. So I'd probably let him go as well.
Nice one, Joe.
Yeah, I'd definitely sell him. I just don't think. I think even now you hear Stoke fans say he's really good getting forward, but he's just not defensively up to the best fullback. So yeah, I'll definitely sell him.
Daniel?
Probably going to say this about a few players who are left, but similar to the few we just mentioned, I think you sell. And if you get any money now to build up that kitty for the summer, I think that's what you have to look at more than anything.
Yeah, sound. Oh God, I can't remember who this guy even is. Who's this guy?
Mate, it's too small for me to see on my phone. I can't see.
All right, we'll go to their next one because this is one of John's favourites anyway. Mascara.
Mate, that looks like Noah Lamina to me.
No. This is Mascara here, but I've got my mouse under. So Mascara first. We'll go through Mascara first.
Yes, and Mascara.
I think keep
100%.
Sure. I think
one
get
of our
him
best
back.
Prospects.
Yeah, get him back. Get him in our centre backs and see what he can do.
Yeah, he's one of our best prospects. Probably the best prospect we haven't got in our squad at the moment. Yeah, keep him 100%. I think he's I think, to be fair, he could be one of our starting players next season. I think he's
Yeah.
had a brilliant season.
Ah, there we go, Ellie. Ellie, you are coming out with the goods today, Ellie. You are
is
coming
it?
out with the goods. Lembakista.
Oh, Dexter Lembakisa, okay.
It's the old picture of him, man. I don't know where I've got that picture from. It's like
Hey,
it's like an embryo of a man.
A workman always blames his tools.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is, isn't it? Thanks for that, Ellie, man. What a legend coming in again.
Top last, well done.
Twice in a row now. Yeah. So
Get her on the pod.
Lembakista. What do you think? I think sell. I think.
I think we could probably still make a bit of money with him on loan,
You reckon?
I think keep it ticking over. I'll probably loan him again.
Cool.
Yeah, I reckon loan. I think there's definitely potential there, and the fact that he's getting called up, I think he's for Jamaica and he's doing it right there. I think maybe loan him.
True. Yeah. True.
Especially if he's willing to extend his contract if we loan him.
Cool. Daniel.
I agree with Carl and John. I think you loan him for either potentially selling the season after, or you have a potential squad player there.
I think he's someone we can probably loan with an option to buy, because I don't think he's going to be in and around our squad really from where we'd like it to go. Yeah, I'd probably loan him.
Nice one.
Loan to buy.
Awesome. Joe Hodge, I think is that?
No, George is further down, isn't he? George Sport.
Ellie.
Ellie, who's this? Guedes for me, you got to sell for me.
Yeah.
Is it Kundal? Is it Luke Kundal?
Luke Kundal.
Is it
coming in now? Did Ellie get there first though?
No, I don't know. I can't see from here. I can't see it from here.
I'm gonna just say Ellie again. What a legend, mate! Get her on this bloody panel. Get her instead of me, Christ. Yeah, we'll we'll go for Kundal. I actually think sell. I think you get a couple of million for him now.
I think it's all right.
Championship player
yeah.
for me, which is not a bad thing either. Sometimes I think that's just.
I think he's another one that we could probably loan with an option. I think he's still quite young and he's still got a bit of growing to do, a bit of maturity maybe to add to his game as well. Probably loan with an option with him.
Loan. I say sell. John.
Sell.
Daniel.
Yeah, I'd say so. I don't think his stock's going to rise much higher.
Cool. Guedes. Oh my god, this guy, man. So expensive when he came in, and I do understand what they were doing, because if you look at what he was doing in the league he was in, he was smashing goals in left, right, and centre, and it just seemed like who we needed at the time. And he was Portuguese and everything, and he just seemed like it was a great deal. But he just didn't want to be at Wolves straight away. Like the second he came into Molineux, he was just like, "Nah, I'm all right. Get me some sun." And then, so for me, it's a sell.
Yeah, I think we cash in on him. I would like to see him under Gary O'Neill, but he don't want to be here, does he?
No.
So yeah, get him gone.
John.
Yeah, definitely sell. He's definitely at the age as well where you don't want him to be around much longer under Wolves, because you just lose value. So yeah, try and sell him this summer. Not had a bad back end of the season with Villarreal, so yeah, definitely sell.
Cool. Daniel.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's
got to, isn't he? I think he's a decent player. It's just he doesn't want to be at the club, and you just can't have players like that.
It's the same like we have with Catrone, isn't it? Patrick Catrone
and Podence as well. Podence as well. Same sort of thing. Chiquinho, I actually think keep him and see what Gary O'Neill can do with him.
Yeah, I agree.
John.
Yeah, definitely. I would keep him pre-season, see what happens. But yeah, he's done a pretty good loan spell, I think.
Nice, Daniel.
Yeah, exactly that. Have a look at him pre-season. If he needs another loan, then Faz, but definitely keep him.
Fabio Silva. Now, don't talk about my boy too much. Don't you talk about my boy, man.
Get him gone, man. Get him gone. He's so expensive, man. Just get him gone.
I know.
Get him gone.
know.
Sorry, Dan. I know he's your love child, but he's got to go.
He's gone, isn't he? He's got to go. Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm up for selling him. Everyone else?
Yeah.
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 Didn't he have a huge bust up with Alex Ray as well at Rangers?
Yeah. Apparently, according to what
Some people
were
denied
saying.
that though. Some of the
Oh,
sources
okay.
close to the club denied that.
I'm
Okay.
gonna say if there's one player you don't want to get a bust up, he's bloody him in it. Jesus Christ, Alex Ray.
Sideshow Bob.
What a nut job. I love him.
I love him.
So we've Joe Hodge. I actually really like Joe Hodge. When he was playing for Nuno and Bruno Lage. He's on loan and whatever. I don't know if he's doing that good on loan, John. Is he all right on loan?
He's doing all right. Yeah, he's doing all right. Not too bad, not too good. He's just doing all right, ticking along.
Do you think keep him on loan?
I think loan him. I think especially if he wants to extend his contract for that loan, I'd definitely do it.
Because I think he's better than Kundal.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
I think he's got a bit about him, hasn't he? Daniel, what do you think?
I think similar to Hugo Bueno in a way. I think you try and loan him to a better championship side. Maybe his value goes up. Then make a decision. I think.
Same with
I'm
Kyle
going to
as
throw
well.
it out there. I actually think keep him. I think Gary had worked well with him. He seems to be that sort of player you can mould into what you'd like him to be. And I think he can be quite adaptable. And from what we've seen of him, he's a decent player. I'd actually keep Kundal.
That's fair.
Hodge, sorry.
That's fair. What about Sasha Kalajdzic, the nice man? I don't
think we've got much choice, have we? Because
He's
they
gone,
don't
hasn't
reckon he's going to be back till September.
Yeah. Daniel, what have you met Sasha Kalajdzic? He seems like the nicest bloke in the world.
I actually haven't, because not in a horrible way. He's not been fit for that long, and then he wasn't in the team enough to be put up for any interviews. So I haven't actually met him yet, but in the documentary, Wolves made it.
He's always there going, hi, I'm Sasha. Hi, I'm Sasha. Every time a new player comes in, hi, I'm Sasha. Yeah, I think we've got to sell him though, haven't we? Based on his injury record. I don't know who's going to buy him. I don't know if he'll stay where he is at the moment in Frankfurt. I know they kind of like him as well.
I don't think that we can sell him till January. From what I've heard, they don't think he'll be able to play football till September, potentially October. So I think they'll register him for the squad in case he comes back in October, so he can play the back end of like the first half of the season, and then I suppose the only opportunity we've got to loan or sell him or keep him make a decision in January.
It's got to be
I can actually, unfortunately, see Sasha retiring early.
Oh mate, that would be brutal, wouldn't it?
I know, and it does happen, and I think unfortunately Sasha's going that way. It's huge injury. I've just had my ACL done, and it's brutal. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get back on a football pitch, and I only had it done on the 20th of March. It's been like 2 months and a bit, and I'm already itching. He was out for a year, and it's the mental side of it as well. How much of that can you take as a human being rather than just a player? I can actually see him retiring early for his own mental well-being. It's a shame because, like you say, he looks like a really nice guy. You can tell he's got a little bit about him. He's a presence in the air. But yeah, unfortunately, I'd keep him, but I can't see him playing much.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, I think we have no choice but to keep him for the first half of the season. But I reckon come January, just see what offers you're getting for him. If it's stupid offers, you might as well keep him for the other half of the season, just so he can build up his value at least. He definitely offers something slightly different off the bench.
Yeah, Daniel, what do you think?
I would. This is a bit out of that. I'd maybe go with none of the above. I'd be quite surprised if he's even in the Premier League kind of.
That's
squad.
true.
Gary O'Neill made it quite clear in January he doesn't fancy him. I mean, he said we asked him multiple times, would you have changed your mind because of all the injuries up front? And he said, absolutely not, because I made my decision on the likes of Fabio, the likes of Sasha. He didn't fancy them. So I wonder, again, this is me being very hypothetical, but if he's not going to be fit till September, October, I just wonder, do Wolves and Sasha come to an agreement maybe to just terminate his contract, let him train with whoever he wants, maybe just sign as a free agent? Because if Gary doesn't fancy him, if he's not in that Premier League list, I'm not sure what money or what value you get in January.
Similar to like what happened with Johnny Otto a little bit, obviously without the controversy around it, but like just
yeah, I just wonder with these things, you just come to some sort of agreement where, it's not good for him. He probably just wants to train and maybe just sign with whoever. And for Wolves, if Gary doesn't fancy him, he's not going to get into the team. I appreciate what Carl said. He clearly has good attributes, but if Gary O'Neill doesn't fancy him, he's not going near that team, I think.
Nice. Kem Campbell, we've not really seen him very often. I think he's it's an awkward player for me. I think alone, just see what he's like again. I don't know what he's been like. John, have you seen?
There's one player I haven't really kept like a close eye on, really, so I can't really say. But I'd probably go towards Sal because I don't think he's really done that well. I've got him as notification, so we don't get many goals or whatever he's doing because we don't get.
You would have heard it by now, wouldn't you, if he was doing like well and pulling up trees and whatever. So,
I would sell him as well.
Yeah,
I think he's been at the club long enough now to prove himself, and he just hasn't really. Yeah. He had a couple of appearances in the unders. He did all right. He was never outstanding. He was one of the better players for the unders, but again, he's not really cutting the mustard. And it's I'd probably look at selling him now.
Cool. John said sell as well. Daniel, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'd agree. I think when do you remember when Steve Davis had that period last season? When Chen and Hugo came in, I don't think Chen made enough of an impression really to stay in and around without that squad. And I think at 21 as well, that stock and potential, you start going, actually, it might not quite be there. So yeah, I'd sell him now.
I think he's a player that probably has. I think he's got some potential there. It's just weird with him, isn't it? I can feel like there's potential with that player. It's bizarre.
Probably needs to go down and build himself back up.
Yeah.
In a few years, we might see him further.
Daniel Podence, what a last player to have. I'm really gutted for Podence. I really want him to just go, you know what? I love Wolves. It's the best thing in the world. I can't wait to go back. But all he wants to do is smash plates in Greece, doesn't he? That's all he wants to do. And I can't blame him. Greece is a lovely place and everything, but I just think, like, you're better than that, man. And I know that's no disrespect to Olympiacos, but, like, in terms of a league, like, okay, like, European football is brilliant, but, like, in terms of the Greek league, I think he's a better player than that.
Just briefly, does anyone know if they're winning?
I don't know. Kyle,
it's 0-0 at the moment.
Or is it?
Yeah.
Well, what I would say, maybe you can shed some more light on it, Daniel. With Potence's exit, was that more of a argument with Lopetegui, or was that more of a disagreement with the club? Do you think maybe with a new manager? I know Gary did say in one of the press conferences that he wanted to have a sit down with Dan when he comes back.
Yeah.
Before he makes any decisions. Is that because of maybe disagreements with Lopetegui and not with O'Neill, or?
Yeah, it felt like the decision with Podence going to Olympiacos was made well before Gary O'Neill came into the club. So whether Gary would have kept him or not, cool. On the next time. So it was well made before Gary O'Neill came into the club. So I think that's why he said I'd like to have a chat and actually get to know where Podence's head is really with Wolves and what he feels, because yeah, as you mentioned, I don't think Lopetegui really fancied him. We know he didn't fancy a few of the players in the Wolves squad. I think if he had his own way in the summer, probably a few other players would have left if he had his own way. So one thing I will say about Podence is I saw him in person for the first leg against Aston Villa, and he was class. I mean, he was so good. Obviously, and I'm sure what you all appreciate, he loves to rattle up the players, the fans. He's just a great character, isn't he? But he's still a great player. Yeah, I think you mentioned that, Dan. I mean, it's kind of what his ambition is really now, isn't it? Does he want to have a bit more of a cozy life in Greece and guarantee of Champions League or European football, I should say, every year, or whether he wants to grind it out back at Wolves, I think.
Nice.
I
So, what we saying?
if it was up to us, I'd actually keep Podence.
Yeah, I
I
want to
think
keep him
he's.
as well.
I actually think he's a good backup if Neto does go.
Look at the
I
goals
think
he
he-
scored for us as well. By the way,
And
have
this
you ever
is
thought?
it.
I'd say keep.
He's quick and he's got that low center of gravity, and it's really entertaining again to watch. And if his head's not in it, you know how much of that ability and potential does actually come out in 90 minutes. You know, but I think a good long chat with Gary O'Neill, you know, if Gary has got him in his plans, I think would probably turn his head. And I think, yeah,
I
if
agree.
Neto goes, I think
I'd love
Podence
that,
is a
man. I think
very
it'd be
good
great.
filling.
Cool. What do you think then, John? Do you think we should keep him?
I'm going to say keep until we have the conversation because we don't know how that conversation's going to go.
Yeah, fair. So keep until
Yeah.
Initial,
think-
this is our initial reaction as well, by the way. So it could all change
Yeah.
by then anyway.
I also think in terms of what you'll get for him, is it worth losing him? You know, in terms of, I know in January, you know, Celtic were interested in him, you know, and the value was kind of around 6-7 million, but actually for what he can bring to the team, you know, is it worth selling him for that? Probably not.
Daniel Podence in the chat, Olympiacos with you, UEFA Champions League or Wolves
they've
with
actually
table
got Champions
relegation
League because
battles.
they've won the Greek League, did they? So I didn't think they did win the Greek League.
I don't know.
No, they didn't. They finished like third, so they're not in the Champions League now. I think they
I
were
was going to
third.
say, and we don't even know if they're going to win the conference. Like they could
Yeah.
still lose that, so we don't even know if they're going to have
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, no, they're definitely not. They didn't
Daniel
win.
Podence in the chat, man. What a guy.
Get your phone back in your sock and carry on playing.
Please stay.
No, yeah, I'd keep him.
Yeah. I just want to see I just want to see that conversation. I want to be the fly on the wall in that office when he comes into that office with Gary.
Do you know
O'Neill
what?
and
It'd be one of the more interesting ones, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'd
class.
really like to listen in on that. But
Right, so that's
We don't
that's
have
it,
that
guys.
privilege.
That's our list. We've got a lot of bloody players staying, but if you think about it, actually, we've got rid of some deadwood. We've got rid of a couple of assets. I think Sarabia's wages going as well is something that's a bit understated. I think because his wages are insane. You know what I mean? So him going and Neto going with Guedes money, Fabio money, and that's really it, really. Because I mean, we can get him for Sasha and whatever, but I feel like there's a bit of money there where we can sort
definitely a
stuff
bit to
out.
play with, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then obviously if Podence goes, that's a bit of money as well. So I don't think that's a bad choice.
I'm hoping he does go because he'd have to have his shirt back otherwise.
Yeah, you're gonna have to give it him back, ain't you?